Imagine this. Somewhere in the universe, two particles are born together. They could be light years apart, separated by galaxies, and yet, if you touch one, the other instantly reacts, no matter the distance. Einstein himself was puzzled by this mystery and called it spooky action at a distance. But modern physics knows it by a different name: quantum entanglement. Now here's the part that will blow your mind. What if this very principle isn't just limited to particles, but also to your desires, your goals, and the reality you're trying to create? What if every dream you've ever had is already entangled with you at the quantum level, waiting for you to collapse it into existence? This isn't science fiction. It's not mystical superstition either. It's the strange and profound truth of quantum physics that scientists are still trying to fully understand. And today, we're going to dive into it, not just to understand the phenomenon, but to uncover how quantum entanglement connects you to everything you desire in life. Think about it. Your deepest desires, the love you crave, the success you envision, the abundance you long for. What if they're not somewhere out there waiting to be created? What if they're already connected to you, invisibly, through the very fabric of reality? The only difference is whether you're tuned into the frequency that allows you to experience them. Before we go deeper, let's clear up the science behind this so it doesn't sound like another New Age buzzword. Quantum entanglement is one of the most studied and experimentally proven phenomena in physics. In simple terms, when two particles interact in a specific way, they become entangled. From that moment on, no matter how far apart they move, their states remain connected. If one changes, the other changes instantly, even faster than the speed of light. This has been tested in countless experiments. In 2017, researchers in China successfully demonstrated entanglement between particles across more than 1,200 kilometers. And just a few years ago, the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to scientists who proved, without a doubt, that entanglement is real. So, this isn't a fringe idea. It's a hard fact of science, but here's the twist. If particles can be entangled, why can't reality itself? Why can't your consciousness, your thoughts, and your desires interact with the quantum field in the same way? What if your mind is not just a passive observer, but an active participant in this entangled web of existence? In this series, we're going to explore exactly that. First, by grounding ourselves in the science, then by connecting it to human experience, and finally by uncovering the practical steps you can take to harness this phenomenon for your own life. By the end of this journey, you'll never see your desires the same way again, because you'll realize they've been connected to you all along. When we think about desire, we usually imagine it as something separate from us. We want money because we don't have it. We want love because we feel it's missing. We want success because it lies in the future. In other words, our desires are placed at a distance, something out there that we must chase, achieve, or attract. But if quantum entanglement is real, and it is, then the entire perspective of desire changes. Desire isn't separate. Desire is already connected to you, entangled with you, woven into the same quantum fabric as your own consciousness. That means the things you want are not missing from your life. They are simply existing in a different possibility, waiting for your awareness to align with them. Let's pause and consider the role of consciousness. Quantum physics has long struggled with one haunting question. Does observation create reality? Experiments like the famous double-slit experiment suggest that particles don't even decide whether they are a wave or a particle until someone or something observes them. That means your very act of observing, focusing, and giving attention plays a role in shaping reality. So, what happens when you constantly observe your lack, your problems, and your struggles? You collapse those realities into being. What happens when you shift your focus toward what you desire, not just with fleeting hope, but with the deep knowing that it already exists and is already connected to you? You collapse that reality into existence. This is where quantum manifestation goes beyond positive thinking. It's not about forcing yourself to believe. It's about recognizing the entangled connection that already exists between you and your desire. Think of your consciousness like a radio tuner. The quantum field is full of infinite frequencies. Every possible reality, every possible version of you, every possible outcome. When you tune your focus to scarcity, fear, and doubt, you lock into that frequency, and reality mirrors it back to you. But when you tune your consciousness toward abundance, love, and certainty, you align with the entangled realities that hold those experiences. They were always connected to you. The radio just needed to tune in. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Neuroscience shows that the subconscious mind processes information far faster and more deeply than the conscious mind. Some researchers even suggest the subconscious acts like a quantum computer, able to process infinite possibilities at once. This means your subconscious beliefs are the real tuning fork. They're the hidden mechanism deciding which reality you collapse into existence. If your subconscious says, "I'm unworthy of success," no amount of surface-level visualization will help. Why? Because deep down, your subconscious is entangled with the frequency of lack, and that's the reality it continues to broadcast into the field. But when you shift those subconscious patterns, when you reprogram the hidden beliefs, you begin to entangle with an entirely different version of reality. Suddenly, opportunities appear, people align, and synchronicities unfold that were invisible before. Think of it this way. Desires are not goals to be chased, but signals already waiting for you in the field. They exist because you exist. The very fact that you can desire something is proof that there's already a version of you, in some quantum timeline, experiencing it. Otherwise, how could you even imagine it? Your imagination is not fantasy. It is memory of the infinite. This is why many spiritual traditions have long taught, ask and it is given, or you are already whole. Modern physics is finally catching up to what ancient wisdom always knew. You are entangled with the universe itself. Your desires are not separate objects. They are extensions of your own consciousness, mirrored in the quantum web. Now, here's the most liberating realization. You don't have to create your desires. You only have to align with them. Manifestation is not about constructing a new reality from scratch. It's about tuning your awareness so that you collapse the version of reality where your desire is already true. That's why sometimes, when people suddenly let go or surrender, their desires show up almost instantly. The entanglement was always there. They simply stopped resisting the connection. By now, you can begin to see why quantum manifestation is not just positive thinking dressed in scientific clothing. It's about working with the same laws that govern the subatomic world, but applying them to the human experience. And just like the entangled particles studied in laboratories, your desires are waiting for you to recognize the bond that already exists. In the next step, we'll explore the most important part, how to practically use this knowledge. Because understanding quantum entanglement is one thing. Living in alignment with it, collapsing the realities you actually want to experience, that's where transformation begins. Now that you understand the science of quantum entanglement and how consciousness connects with desire, the real question is, how do you use this in daily life? It's one thing to be fascinated by the physics, but it's another to embody it so fully that your desires flow toward you as naturally as breathing. Let's begin with the most essential principle. Manifestation is alignment, not effort. You don't have to force the universe into giving you what you want. You simply need to align your consciousness to the frequency of what's already entangled with you. Think of it like gravity. You don't create gravity, you align with it. Step 1. Shifting the observer. The double-slit experiment showed us that observation determines outcome. This means your attention is the most powerful creative force you have. Where you place your awareness, reality collapses. Most people waste their power by constantly observing what they don't want: bills, problems, stress, failures. The more they watch it, the more it solidifies. Instead, become deliberate with your observation. Each morning, Choose one desire you want to align with, and for a few minutes, observe it as though it already exists. Don't wish for it. See it. Feel it. Let your body experience the version of you where that reality is already true. In that moment, you're not fantasizing. You're collapsing probabilities into a single outcome. Step 2. Reprogramming the subconscious. As we explored earlier, the subconscious is the true quantum tuner. If you consciously say, "I am abundant," but your subconscious whispers, "I'll never have enough," you'll collapse the frequency of lack every single time. One of the most effective ways to reprogram the subconscious is through repetition paired with emotion. Create affirmations, but don't just recite them mechanically. Feel them as though they are real. Visualization before sleep is also powerful because your subconscious is most open when your brain enters theta state. For example, as you fall asleep, imagine walking through the version of your life where your desire is already fulfilled. Let your body feel the joy, peace, or excitement of that reality. Over time, your subconscious begins to treat that as truth, and entanglement responds. Step 3. Emotional frequency. Tuning desire is not just a thought, it's a frequency, and frequency is carried by emotion. If you desire love but your emotional baseline is fear, you're out of tune. If you desire abundance but live in guilt, you're broadcasting the wrong signal. Start practicing emotional tuning. Ask yourself daily, what emotion would I feel if my desire were already true? Is it freedom, gratitude, confidence? Then cultivate that emotion deliberately. Music, movement, meditation, even small rituals can help you lock into that state. Remember, you're not faking it. You're aligning with the entangled version of reality where that feeling is already real. Step 4. Detachment and collapse. Here's the paradox. You must desire without clinging. In quantum terms, the more you try to measure or force the outcome, the more you interfere with the wave of possibilities. True manifestation happens when you set the intention clearly, align emotionally, and then release. This is why surrender is not weakness, it's science. By letting go, you stop collapsing the reality of, "It's not here yet," and you allow the universe to collapse the version where it already exists. Think of entanglement as a mirror. When you trust the reflection, it appears effortlessly. When you chase the reflection, it runs further away. Step 5. Synchronicity tracking. Once you begin aligning, the universe responds with subtle signs, synchronicities. A chance encounter, a repeated number, a sudden opportunity. These are not coincidences. They are proof that entanglement is shifting in your favor. Start tracking them. Write them down. Celebrate them. The more you acknowledge synchronicity, the stronger the connection grows. Step 6. Living as if. Finally, the most powerful technique is embodiment. Don't just visualize your desire. Live as if it's already here. If your desire is abundance, start treating yourself with respect and generosity now. If your desire is love, embody the qualities of a person who is already loved. This isn't pretending. It's collapsing into the reality where those desires are natural extensions of who you are. The quantum truth. At this point, you may realize something profound. You've never been separate from your desires. They weren't out there waiting to arrive. They were always entangled with you, connected at the deepest level of reality. The only question was whether your awareness, emotions, and subconscious beliefs were tuned to experience them. Manifestation isn't about summoning something new. It's about remembering what's already yours. The science of quantum entanglement shows us that distance, time, and separation are illusions. Consciousness collapses those illusions into unity. And when you align with that truth, you become unstoppable. So, the next time you think about something you want, whether it's love, abundance, health, or freedom, don't see it as a dream in the future. See it as an entangled reality already connected to you, waiting for you to tune in. Because the universe isn't holding anything back. It's simply waiting for you to recognize the connection.